Okay, first things first, I don't have actual students to do this with, so I'm going to be doing the best that I can with pretending. Normally, if I had students, this would go out a lot longer because it's all a lot discussion based. So we're going to work with what we have, and I'll do my experiment. Okay. So today we are outside to learn a little bit more about light. So far we have talked about light as a form of energy, and that light can pass through matter, some types of matter, and empty space. Today we're going to learn something new about light. So I have these two t-shirts here. Can someone tell me the difference between these two t-shirts? Great. One is white and one is black. We are going to talk about how that changes things with the light from the sun. So I have two thermometers. These shirts have been hiding in the shade. I am going to take the temperature of these two shirts. I'll wrap the thermometer in here nice and tight to get a good reading for both shirts. What do you expect the temperature would be? How do you expect the temperatures to compare with each other when I take them first, after they've both been sitting in the shade together? Awesome. You'd think they might be about the same. Let's see if that's true. Okay, it looks like they are both at about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll keep that in mind. For now, it is nice and sunny outside. I'm going to let these t-shirts lay out here. I'll spread them both out a little bit. They can soak up some sun while we soak up some sun. What do you think is going to happen to the two t-shirts that I have out here on my table? Here's discussion time. Why do you think we measured the temperature of those two shirts? Why would I even do that? Hopefully they'll say, oh, maybe we're talking about temperature with the shirts. Maybe the temperature will change on the shirts, things like that. And so we'll keep going. We'll wait a little bit. Hopefully the discussion gets really rich and they talk about the two shirts. And I would ask, which shirt do you think the temperature difference would be greater for? And I'll get some ideas. Hopefully some people say white, some people say black, and I'll ask why. Why do you think that way? And then we'll talk about why that is. Hopefully enough time will pass that the two shirts will change their temperatures. Looks like the sun is going behind the clouds right now, so that's exciting. But then after a decent amount of time out here, I will bring the class back together and say, okay, it has been about 5 minutes. We've let these two shirts rest out here in the sun. We've talked about what we think is going to happen with them. So let's go ahead and measure their temperatures again and then see what happens. So I'll wrap the shirts up in the thermometers. Ooh, I can tell you the dark shirt feels hot, feels a little bit warmer. I might even at this point pass it around and have the people touch the two different shirts and see what they think. Okay, so it looks like the white shirt climbed to about 81 degrees from the 78 before, and it looks like the black t-shirt climbed to 85 degrees. How do those two temperatures compare? And they would say one's higher than the other. The black shirt is warmer. Why do you think the black t-shirt got warmer than the white t-shirt? And we talk about this. Does anyone have any experience wearing these two different t-shirts, maybe on a sunny day? How did that go? And we would talk about that. And then we would say, why do you think that the temperature changes at all on the two t-shirts? What does energy have to do with that? Think about what we've talked about with light so far, as light being a form of energy. How do you think that affects the two t-shirts? And they would hopefully talk about, oh, light is transferring energy into the shirts. And then I would say, well, why Is it that more energy is going into the black shirt than the white shirt? And if so, why is that? And hopefully they would have some ideas. And I would say, what else besides the color of t-shirts, what else do you think would affect how much light comes into a shirt or how much energy is transferred? And they would hopefully say a few things. We would get some ideas. I would have them talk about this question in their small groups. Go ahead and talk about this in your small groups. And then after you talk amongst your group, I want you to write down some predictions. What do you think other things that affect the temperature of objects when they sit out in the sun would be? Write down some things, write down some ideas. We are going to be investigating this today. So you and your group are going to be designing some experiments to test different factors that influence how much an object goes up in temperature when it sits out in light. So we've got some flashlights, we've got different types of lights, we have different types of cloth, different pieces of construction paper of different colors. So I want you to go ahead and write down 3 things that you want to test in your science notebook with your group. After you write down those 3 things, let's go ahead and share out a few of them. So take your time, write your 3 things. We'll come back in a little bit and share a few. Okay, and then after we've shared out some ideas, we would split them up into groups, and they would go ahead and get working on their different ideas about light and how different factors affect the amount of light absorption that happens. We haven't talked about light absorption in the word yet. I'm saving that for the explain phase afterwards. Alrighty, thank you for watching.